All right, so right now I'm in Chico State University, and today we're going to be asking college students, does God exist? Does God exist?
I think that there's a higher power out there somewhere. I don't know if it's necessarily a god, but I do believe there's something bigger than us, whether it's the universe or a god.
What about you?
I believe in the power of a divine plan. Maybe it's God, maybe it's just the universe, maybe it's a rainbow, maybe it's a leprechaun, who knows, but there's a path, so
What makes you believe it's more of a path instead of like a being?
makes me feel better about bad things that have happened. You know, if something bad happened, it was meant to happen and you learned something from it.
Everything happens for a reason.
Does God exist?
Yes,
How?
because there has to be someone who created everything. It didn't just appear out of nowhere. I believe that he exists, but I do also believe that we don't know that much about him. Just because it's been so long.
Does God exist?
Good question. I think so, yeah. A lot of different religions have some idea of God, and I think that, if so many people have such a description or an idea that brings them together, then there has to be something out there that gives reason to that. So, yeah.
What about you?
Yes, I think God does exist. I grew up, I grew up Catholic, and so I always believe that there has to be something bigger than this, and there has to be more. And I just think it's everywhere, and you can find it anywhere, and even just in nature, and I don't know, just like in life. But yeah.
Does God exist?
Yeah, I mean, God, he transforms my life. He's transformed the lives of the saints. I know God exists because of his grace and how he's worked within me and how he's worked within other people. And, there are other reasons I could give, but that's the most convincing one to me. And that's what we do when we show love to our neighbor, when we show love to others, is that we prove that God exists every time.
So do you feel like the good in the world is proof that God exists?
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely is proof that God exists. I mean, just the power of grace and how it transforms us and how he brings us to him.
Does God exist?
Yes, he does.
How?
He existed because he created the earth, the stars, and us.
Feel as if seeing creation, do you feel as if that's evidence that God exists?
Yes, very much so.
What about you?
Yes, I do know that sin exists because God created this for us to have a beautiful society, but the sin began in the Garden of Eden, and that sin has continued on to this day. Even though Jesus has already come and he was resurrected, sin still exists. We can see it all around us as we look around.
Does God exist?
I'm neither really yes or no for it. I don't really believe he does, but I also wouldn't be I see why people would believe he does, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that like that.
What makes you personally not believe in God?
It's just, I think, kind of how I was raised. I think that's kind of a lot what it is for a lot of people, because it's just a different line of reasoning. I just wasn't born and raised going oh, there's a book that details all of this. So when I hear it, I'm fully oh, I like that you believe that. That's really neat. But for me, it just doesn't, the line of reasoning doesn't connect.
Is there anything in specific, of that line of reasoning that makes you not believe in God?
I think, that's a good one. I think it's just oh, that's a really good one. I think just the universe is a lot more just almost uncaring. I don't think there would be something that would be like that. They would be all powerful and mighty and have created everything. But I also kind of along those lines wouldn't be surprised if with how big the universe is, something sort of just does exist that is fairly powerful and just kind of happened to also be created with it.
Does God exist?
Personally, I don't think he does. I think there's a higher power, but I think that God is a good moral supporter for many people who do choose to have that kind of faith. But for me personally, I don't think there is a God, and that if you're a nice person, nice things come to you. But I do understand the religious portion of it and seeing how it's helpful to believe in an all-loving, all-forgiving God. So, yeah, I support everyone in whatever belief they have.
So when you say higher power, what do you mean by that?
I would say I'm spiritual. I think that there is something there that kind of navigates life, and I don't know if it's one God or multiple gods or just kind of a overall being of spirit. Like something made the Big Bang happen. Like I believe in evolution, I believe in all that, but I don't know what the one bigger power would be.
So if you did find out what that one bigger power would be, would you put your faith in him?
Yeah, I mean, if there's concrete evidence, of course. Like, I mean, I fully believe, like, in research, like, we have figured out so many things. We found cures for things. So if there was concrete evidence, like, yeah, I would definitely believe it.
Does God exist?
Yes.
What makes you believe in God?
You know, there's a lot of good things that happen to me, and the bad things happen for a reason. And I just thank God every day for all the good things, all the bad things. Just follow the path. We good.
Does God exist?
I'd say yeah, but it's what people believe, and you have your right to acknowledge your own beliefs. Don't try to push anything on anyone else, and yeah, that's basically it.
Does God exist?
I don't know if God exists or not, but I definitely think that something's out there looking down at you, you know?
Does God exist?
I would say we don't have any way of knowing. So, yeah, if there was, I would have no way to know.
So if you figured out that if God did exist, would you believe in that God?
In theory, if I had, indiscernible proof, yeah, I guess.
Does God exist?
I believe he does, and I believe in afterlife and that I will be with him one day.
What makes you believe that?
I was raised in the Christian church, and just from all the knowledge and the artifacts and everything proving, plus the Bible, I hard believe that the Bible is correct. Oh my God, words were not wording. Yeah.
What makes you believe in the Bible?
I guess just that's how I was raised, and yeah, I was raised to believe in it, and then I kind of just followed with it, and yeah, I don't know how to deeper put it in that way. It was just how I was raised, and yeah, I don't know.
Does God exist?
Of course. God is here. God is here. God is here. God is everywhere.
What makes you believe in God?
I don't have to believe. It just is. Yeah. Talk to me. Yeah. I don't have to believe because it is. Yeah. You just live and you breathe, you know? What is the verse he says? God is light. God is everything. God is everything.
So you feel as if there's undeniable proof that God exists?
There's even, what do you even mean by that? It's just humans trying to figure out what this is. Yeah. I think that's what it is. But there's no proof to be made out to, it is what it is. And either you get with it or you don't. Yeah. What's your opinion on?
I believe in God. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I personally believe in God because obviously looking at creation, it's obvious there's no way.
Can you get the trees and stuff? Come on now.
There's obviously no way that God couldn't exist, and personally, I was addicted to I was suicidal and I had depression, but then Jesus Christ, he saved me. I haven't been the same since. That's why I believe in God.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, there you have it, folks. God is real.
Awesome.
You get that? God is real.
Yep.
Come on now. The word
Thank you.